The evening settles in, casting shadows across Mr. Seok's luxurious home as Mr. Young-sun, immediately sensing an unspoken tension in the air. He finds Mr. Seok in his study, a room adorned with framed achievements and memories, but tonight, it carries an air of unease. Mr. Seok looking troubled.
Young-sun, sit. I have something pressing to discuss. It's about Sandra.
Mr. Young-sun nodding.
Certainly, sir.
Mr. Seok resolute.
She's fallen for a young man, but he seems entangled with someone else. I need you to find out everything about him. His history, his ties, everything.
Consider it done, sir. Sandra deserves the best.
Mrs. Seok, elegantly dressed, enters, her eyes immediately catching the seriousness of the conversation. Mrs. Seok concerned.
What's going on, dear?
Mr. Seok brushing off the question.
Nothing for you to worry about, my love.
However, Mrs. Seok senses the unease and attempts to provide a voice of reason. Mrs. Seok softly.
Darling, meddling in love affairs is delicate. True love cannot be coerced.
Mr. Seok, resolute in his determination, dismisses his wife's advice, deepening the divide. Mr. Seok dismissive.
I won't have your meddling in this matter. Stay out of it.
Mrs. Seok, with a dejected expression, reveals her frustrations about Mr. Seok's long-standing intervention in Sandra's life.
Your constant interference, playing God in her life, is not the way to raise a child.
Mr. Young-sun clearing his throat.
I'll get started on the investigation, sir.
Mr. Young-sun bow to take his leave. As the evening deepens, the atmosphere in Mr. Seok's home becomes charged with tension. Mr. Young-sun departs, leaving behind a palpable unease. In the living room, Mr. and Mrs. Seok engage in a heated argument, the air thick with unresolved emotions. Mrs. Seok exasperated.
I can't do this anymore. You control every aspect of our lives with your wealth. Look at what you're doing to our daughter now. Manipulating her love life just like you influenced her grades back in college.
Mr. Seok defensive.
I only want what's best for Sandra. You've always been too soft on her. She needs guidance.
Mrs. Seok emotional.
This is too much. You're always pulling strings, making everything go her way. That's why she relies on you for everything.
Mr. Seok firm.
I won't apologize for wanting the best for our daughter. She's our flesh and blood, and I'll do whatever it takes to ensure her happiness.
Mr. Seok resolute.
I'm not backing down on this, woman. It's for Sandra's sake.
Mrs. Seok sighs.
Fine, but remember, meddling in matters of the heart can have consequences.
As the night falls, tensions soar in the Seok household. Will their conflicting views tear the family apart, or will they find common ground amidst the turmoil? Kindly like, comment, share, and subscribe to find out more in the continuing saga of Is Age Just a Number?